Hey Rob, how's the DC marathon going, dude? What's going on, dude?
What's going on? There's a question. What if I were to tell you that there's a movie so bad, it broke my entire belief system?
What? I thought you already did Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad. There was a time when I believed that was the worst a superhero movie could possibly be. That was a simpler time.
Wow. This one must have really pissed you off.
That's the thing. It hasn't. There's no anger. There's no rage. It's just disappointment, shame, resentment, concern for the human race that we as a society were able to put together something so horrifically bad, something void of any positive nature whatsoever. A film that can somehow do everything wrong and still make more money than the one with The Rock in it.
Whoa.
And here I was thinking I was the only one who could make the same mistakes over and over again and never learn from any of them.
No way.
Last year, Avengers Infinity War gave me hope, dreams. They showed me that there really is a light at the end of the tunnel. That there might actually be a God above us, dealing us these cards. He has a plan for all of us, and some of us are there to be subjected to Avengers Infinity War.
Oh my God.
Through millions of years of evolution, thousands of years of human existence, we were lucky enough to have existed at the same time as Infinity War. And now you skip a year later, and DC have proven to me God may exist, but with God comes Satan. And beneath us, these 6 psychopaths are ready to devour us all one by one.
Oh.
For every person who goes out and enjoys themselves in the cinema watching a great, feel-good, fun film, there's an executive at DC Studios penning another script.
What the hell's happened to you, man? Maybe the DC marathon's a bad idea.
A bad idea doesn't cut it. I used to have hopes, dreams, passion for what I do. And now, all I have is depression.
Didn't you already have that? I mean, you talk about it enough.
I'm not angry. I'm not pissed off. I'm not even frustrated. I'm disappointed. I'm broken. This movie is the equivalent of walking in on my son watching animal porn. I'm not mad. I'm concerned. He needs help. DC needs help.
Well, I'm never watching Aquaman 7.
I think this is the end for me. Hey, Will.
Yeah?
Yeah, can you just pass on my heartfelt apology to George Lucas? Attack of the Clones is a masterpiece. Hey, Jimmy?
Hello?
Yeah, do you remember that time I deleted your YouTube channel, did a diss track calling you a sexual predator, insulted your mother, insulted your partner, and ruined your entire YouTube career?
Yeah.
At least I didn't make Aquaman 2.
The idea for a sequel to
Fucking Aquaman!
actually came about during production of the original, when Jason Momoa started developing a story that would serve as a direct follow-up to the first film, resulting in a 50-page treatment that he planned to pitch to the studio should the film be successful. When
Fucking Aquaman!
became the highest grossing DC film of all time in January 2019, a feat that still baffles me if I'm honest.
I hate
when that happens.
Warner Brothers immediately wanted to produce a sequel and bought the rights to Momoa's story treatment for an insane $15 million. James Wan was slated to return as director, but he got caught up in directing *Malignant*, so the project was put on hold until his schedule freed up again. Wan was confirmed to be coming back in August 2020, with the film set for release of December 2 years later. However, a problem arose in regard to the involvement of Amber Heard. Following accusations of abuse by her ex-husband Johnny Depp, there were initially rumors that her character would be written out of the sequel altogether, but these were debunked. A petition to have the role be recast reached 4 million signatures, but the film's producers insisted that they would not crumble to fan pressure. But yet with Ezra Miller, they nearly scrapped the movie altogether.
I know this is against our traditions.
However, Heard later stated that during her defamation trial, the script had been rewritten throughout production to downplay her involvement as much as possible. DC President Walter Hamada would actually testify during the trial, admitting that while the studio did consider recasting her, they ultimately decided not to, but insisted that this was not in response to the accusations, but due to a lack of chemistry between her and Momoa. Of course it was, Walter. Of course it was.
Yeah, don't worry about that.
In the end, it was decided that the film would be more of a buddy adventure comedy between
fucking Aquaman
and his brother Orm, taking influence from 48 Hours and Romancing the Stone. Though both Heard and Dolph Lundgren claimed that their characters were originally far more central to the story in the original script.
Change of plans.
Filming began in June 2021 and ran until January the next year, but a number of problems surfaced once the film hit the editing stages. Firstly, the COVID pandemic had forced a number of DC films to shift their release dates, pushing back the release of the sequel to
fucking Aquaman
further to December 2023. Furthermore, both Ben Affleck and Michael Keaton were confirmed to have filmed scenes for the movie as their respective iterations of Batman, but once it was confirmed that the DC universe would be completely rebooted immediately after the film's release, both actors had their scenes completely deleted from the final cut. Good.
I'm tired of nothing ever getting done.
fucking Aquaman
And The Lost Kingdom, which sounds like a rejected Harry Potter spin-off, was released on December the 22nd, 2023, but it badly underperformed, only making $424 million worldwide, less than half the profits of the original, and reviews were negative, though the chemistry between Momoa and Patrick Wilson did get some praise. Really? The majority of the movie is
fucking Aquaman
and his brother trying to get along. I'm so glad they stopped trying to rip off Thor.
How pathetic.
But they just lack the chemistry between Hemsworth and Hiddleston. Those two worked so well together, and Hiddleston had such amazing charm and personality. I mean, I love Patrick Wilson, but this character is the blandest pile of shit in this universe. They lack any chemistry together, their banter isn't funny, and it's painful to watch.
Are you telling me you never went topside to have a cheeseburger? What? Or a slice of za? Pepperoni? Or a thick, juicy, medium raw steak with fries and a shake?
Even the words that surface dwellers give their food sound disgusting.
Hell, they even refer to him as Loki.
We can conduct reconnaissance in the meantime.
Yeah, look, Loki.
Yeah, just listen to that one more time.
We can conduct reconnaissance in the meantime.
Yeah, look, Loki.
Just in case you misheard.
We can conduct reconnaissance in the meantime.
Yeah, look, Loki.
Have they no shame? They literally called him Loki, who they're ripping off. And I'm just saying, right? Jason Momoa had no chemistry with Amber Heard. He had no chemistry with Patrick Wilson. Maybe Jason's the problem. I'm just saying. The effects look like arse. Look at it. And it takes about 60 seconds to get to a talking to fish joke.
They say everybody's good at something. Me? I talk to fish.
Getting it out the way early, I guess. I respect that. The humour is awful in this. For a 2-hour movie, I don't laugh once. And do you know why? Because almost all of the jokes are overdone, cliche, or really predictable. It's the equivalent of the screenwriter just exiting his house for the first time in 30 years, having never watched a movie before, and writing these jokes thinking that they had never been said. Or maybe they asked an AI to write the humour for them. They've all been done before, and you can see all of them coming from a mile away.
Bring water. Yeah. No, sorry. I drank it all the way here.
Please take me with you.
Knock him out and then help me hide these bodies.
We're making a special exception just for you.
Just keep your eyes open.
Well, that'll be easy. Mine don't close.
These jokes were written by a toddler. who's being abused.
Get away from my son!
Jesus Christ, not only is that an overdone line, but he doesn't even deliver it correctly. And even when they're not overdone jokes, they're still painfully unfunny.
You're the one who put me here. Why are you bringing up old shit? Come on, we'll talk about it later.
Yeah, I'll stick around.
What the hell are you doing? I don't know! I'm not used to running! Just do what I do. Use your arms, use your legs, lift them up. Like this.
And that's the problem. Not only is the humor cliche, but the whole story is. Oh, the child has the same powers as his dad, which surprises him for some reason.
Pops is blowing my mind.
He's your fucking son! Wait till I tell you about the biology of eye colour. The rip-off Alien. Why is DC ripping off Alien? Now where have I seen this before? The whole plot is just Thor Ragnarok. The godlike king needs help from his evil brother and they have to learn to get along.
Fucking Aquaman!
Teaches Patrick Wilson to eat cockroaches. It's a bit of a stretch, but this film is so shit, I'm gonna say they ripped off The Lion King. They try to get us to care when Wilson is on the verge of death, but I'm sorry, low-key he is not. Of course, there's an exact double of the hero's weapon, but an evil version, because that is brand new. The baby's even kidnapped. That's never been done before. They even have Wilson pretend to be Loki by abandoning Dolph Lundgren only to come back. There's a cliche of Wilson becoming possessed and
Fucking Aquaman!
tries to talk some sense into him to fight back from within. Have the screenwriters ever watched a fucking movie before? The cliche of a villain refusing to be helped, so they kill themselves off a cliff. Jesus Christ, what is this? Groot on steroids? We even get a flashback because the filmmakers knew nobody was going to remember what happened in the first film. In fact, they do it twice. They knew we wouldn't remember any of this bollocks. The action scenes are just boring CGI white noise. You feel your intelligence plummeting as you watch it. Look at this. It looks like the Turricons from Buffy the Vampire Slayer if you ordered them off Wish and a disabled pensioner rendered the animation for you. Seriously, look at this. It looks so cheap, it's embarrassing.
Fucking Aquaman!
Ends up getting an invisibility suit, but I mean, it doesn't cover up his hands or face, so shouldn't they still be visible?
Come on, Castaway. Grab Wilson, let's roll.
Marvel reference movies! Marvel do it!
Pirates. Listen, I don't know if you know this about me, but I'm not too popular with pirates.
Don't worry, neither's Amber. Why the hell am I watching Jabba the Hutt's wife talk to
Fucking Aquaman!
and Patrick Wilson? What is this? How do these piles of crap keep making so much money? I need to know. Everything is wrong. The story is shit, the characters are shit, the performances are shit. Patrick Wilson looks directly at the camera like shit. I am noticing a pattern now. Anytime I enjoy a DC movie, the next one comes along to piss me off. What is this? The Teletubbies? Is this Alice in Wonderland or
Fucking Aquaman!
It's Honey, I Shrunk the Kids on a budget? Well, I'll give them this much. The villain gives a solid performance at least. That's all you're getting. But I'm not taking him seriously when he puts his suit on. Look at him, fucking flyboy. I'm refusing to take anything he says or does seriously. Look at the little pleb. The thing is, the DC's biggest fault is having too many ideas and throwing all of them together. That is why Suicide Squad sucked, among other reasons. That is why Batman v Superman sucked. That is why the Justice League sucked. They had 200 ideas and used all of them, but here it's like they didn't have any ideas. It legitimately looks like they were told, well, the first movie made money, so let's make a sequel, but they had no idea what to do with a sequel. There's no ideas here, it's just nothing for 2 hours. The movie ends and you just feel an empty void in your life. Gimli's in it and even he sucks and isn't funny. None of the characters' interactions are interesting, they're all boring as shit. We get the backstory of the underwater kingdoms and the Black Trident, and I care more about the shares of Microsoft. We also get a subplot about global warming too. Yeah, sure. Dolph Lundgren is awful in this. And I know what you're thinking. Where's Dolph Lundgren? He's not exactly Orson Welles. Oh, he's a lot worse than you think he was.
Just picked up a signal. It's faint, but it's broadcasting on an old Atlantean sonar frequency. What are you gonna do when he turns on that sonic cannon? Our only chance is to hit him with total overwhelming force from every direction.
Amber Heard, who was actually pretty good in the last one, is terrible in this. She doesn't give a shit.
That's right. Ultrasonic echoes.
She doesn't even look like she knows she's in a film. She just looks like she wandered onto the set and they couldn't get rid of her. Yeah, so apparently her hospitalizing Johnny Depp is no longer the worst thing this bitch has done. My God, look at this. It looks like an episode of Goosebumps. I'll give the film this much. Gives me an excuse. Yeah, I've done a lot of messed up stuff in my life that I deeply regret, but at least I didn't make Aquaman 2. I'm just baffled that a movie just less than 2 hours could feel like 8.
And I'm calling for global unity for a global crisis. To finally bring harmony between us and the natural balance of our world.
Oh, they think they're making a political point. How cute.
True king builds bridges, right?
Ah, la, a statue is knocked down to literally build a bridge. Ah! And then a post-credit scene, Patrick Wilson eats cockroaches. Remember when these were used to set up the next film? This movie fucking sucks. Nothing works. The villain's performance is quite literally the only compliment I can give this crap, and maybe Jason Momoa. The rest is trash. There's no life to any of this, no sense of passion. It's just soulless corporate garbage. At least in Suicide Squad, this movie's so bad I had to use the words "at least in Suicide Squad." The actors were actually okay, it's just the writing I had an issue with. But here it's everything. The performances are terrible, the writing is terrible, the jokes are terrible, the effects are terrible, the music is terrible, the movie is terrible, and it makes me lose faith in us as a species. Which is unfortunately one of the nicest things I can say about a franchise this fucking bad. I have never in all my years on this earth come across a series of films so consistently terrible, so staggeringly incompetent, so unwilling to learn from its mistakes that it may genuinely be the worst movie franchise I have ever seen. What started out as a seemingly decent attempt to tell a new story spiraled off into a poor, desperate need to try to be Marvel, copying their every move with disastrous, and I mean disastrous, results. But no matter how many times they flopped, no matter how many times they lost money, how many times they got panned, fair play, they stuck to their guns, got back up, and did the exact same shit all over again. Over and over again and over and again. The MCU may have become a shit show in recent years, but even their worst movies can only dream of being half as terrible as these. I would gladly watch another Iron Man 2, Love and Thunder, Age of Ultron than have to experience Birds of Prey, Justice League, or The Flash. In fact, you know what? I want to write an apology to Marvel. After this, I'm excited to watch Captain Marvel 2. I am sorry, Marvel, for ever believing that you could make the worst of the worst. I demand another Spider-Man 3. Bring on Ant-Man 4. I can't wait for Eternals 2 and Thor 5. Overall, I quite enjoyed, 3 of them? But it's fascinating to me how one series can have this many stinkers in a row. It's almost impressive, and I believe it's almost deliberate. The DCEU needs to quit, but as they continue churning out these fuckers, you know, much like Marvel, I'll do my best to keep up and keep putting myself through the torture for all of your entertainment.
Why do I do this to myself? It'll be fun, they said. Do the Marvel films, might as well do the DC films, they said. Why do I even continue this show? No, there's no redeeming this. Where do you go from the DC films? Nothing can salvage this. There's nothing. Is it you? You weren't always shit. You're the chosen one. Yes!
Love you. That was rude. That was very rude. Oh my god. This ending wasn't even a joke. This film did actually break me. And I genuinely, people were messaging me and they thought I was going to find The Flash to be worse than Suicide Squad, and I didn't. I didn't expect Aquaman 2. My God. My God.